Welcome back. When you left, we were looking at this shape and thinking about counting the number of blocks to figure out my volume. It gets more challenging when you have multiple layers because we can't actually see all the blocks in the bottom layer. So you begin by thinking about just one layer. So count the blocks in one layer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So one layer has 8 blocks. Now I calculated or I counted them all. However, instead of counting, I could multiply because I have 4 across this way. I have 2 wide. And right now I have just one layer. So this layer could be found by saying 4 times 2. Again, there were 8 blocks in my first layer. Once we figured out the first layer, then we need to figure out how many total layers are needed to fill the box. So bottom layer was 1, 2, 3, 4. In this case, I need 4 layers. Now I'm ready to find the overall volume. So to find the volume, we find the number of blocks on one layer. We counted that and said that was 8. And then we're going to multiply it by the number of layers. There were 4 layers. So 8 times 4 is 32. It would take 32 blocks to fill up this prism. Now we broke that down and did that in individual steps. However, think about how we could have done this as one multiplication problem. Well, to count my bottom layer, I found that there were 4 this way and 2 that way. So my bottom layer was 4 times 2. Then I took and multiplied that by the number of layers. So I multiplied it by 4. So I could have just done 4 times 2 times 4 to find the volume. Mrs. Larson showed the class a box with 1 layer of unit cubes in the bottom. Then she stacked unit cubes to show the height of the box. Which expression describes the volume of the box? So remember, what we want to do is start by figuring out how many cubes are in our bottom layer. Well, this is 3 wide, and it's 3 that way. So on the bottom, I would have 3 by 3 blocks. Then I need to multiply that by the number of layers. Counting up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I have 5 layers. That means to find this volume, I could multiply 3 times 3 times 5. Let's see if that's a choice. So the volume of my box is 3 times 3 times 5. Let's try our last one. Number of blocks in one layer. Okay, so this is 2 wide, and then across this way, 1, 2, 3, 4. So across the bottom, I would have 2 times 4 blocks. And then I notice I have to count my layers. 1, 2 layers. So I have 2 layers. This means that my volume would be 2 times 4 times 2.